Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my pick and analysis for the 2015-16 NFC Wild Card game between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. Well, anyway, I want to take Seattle on the road in this one. Don't be flabbergasted or in a state of shock, people. I know. Well, they finished number one in scoring defense. They did finish on a rampage, to say the least. They won 6 of their final 7. I think that game against St. Louis was an aberration. That was a divisional opponent, so you did have that familiarity aspect between the two teams. They also finished number one with their run defense. They gave up only 81.5 rushing yards per game on average, and they throttled the Vikings 38-7 in week 13. And running back Marshawn Lynch may very well be back for this game. The last time I checked on his status anyway. But I just look at this team right now. They're clicking on all cylinders. This is one of the better 10-6 teams I've seen in a long time. And they made their run, of course, right when they really needed to. And Minnesota, I understand they got their swagger. They won the division. They defeated Green Bay last week. I give them all the kudos and props. They had really sensational season. I think they superseded expectations big time. I did not think they were going to go 11-5. And they finished the season on a flourish. They won 3 consecutive games. They finished 6-2 at home. Of course, one of the losses was to the Seattle Seahawks. Running back Adrian Peterson finished number 1 in rushing yards in the league. Now, the team finished number 5 in their in scoring defense, giving up only 18.9 points per game on average. And that, I mean, to me, it's a very good telling stat. I understand Seattle blew them out earlier. I expect the Minnesota Vikings to make the necessary adjustments. In this game will probably be a lot closer than it was previously. I still see Seattle emerging victorious and prevailing in this matchup, though. Seattle, I think when I look at this team, it's just a simple fact that in the recent time, they've had more playoff experience. The quarterback, Russell Wilson, has much more, as far best of my knowledge, more experience, playoff experience, as opposed to Teddy Bridgewater for the Vikings. So I think that's going to be pivotal in this particular game. And the Seattle defense is playing very well right now. The second half of the season or so, they have really turned it on. And thing about it is, too, Minnesota Vikings, the last 3 games, they lost the last 3 times they played Seattle, a combined score of 109-47. So it's really like they're not, the game's generally not even competitive. But I do expect this one to at least be somewhat competitive. I see the Seattle still winning, maybe by 10, 14 points in this matchup. Well, anyway, I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks in this matchup, and that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my pick and analysis for the Green Bay Washington wild card game. And until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.